My coolly jump shot analysis video got a lot of positive comments, thanks everybody, but it also received a sort of friendly criticism telling me that strafe and stop jump shooting is more precise than the standard jump shooting that I tested in my video. Did I make a mistake? Yes, but not the one you might think. Firstly, when I say strafe jump stop shooting, I mean that you jump diagonally through the air and stop just as you take the shot. This supposedly makes you more precise than a standard standing jump shot. Plus it feels awesome when you do the flick and shoot a guy in the face. It's so quick like. I'll jump to what you care about. I tested 100 jump shots versus 100 strafe jump stop in the air and fire shots, and these were the results. Conclusion? They are very similar. But I tested it and strafing was more precise, I hear you cry. Yes, I had the same when I tested it. But not in this session. This was just embarrassing to watch. I consulted Sloth Squadron since he knows more about the workings of CSGO than anybody else I know. He and Black Retina constructed this spreadsheet full of figures. I asked him about jump shooting and he replied with this. Long story short, counter-strafing in the air will cancel out the additional inaccuracy, making it, at best, as good as a standard jump shot. So what's the mistake that I made? I assumed that the most precise time to fire was at the peak of the jump, when your character is still in the air before falling down again. It's not. In CSGO, the longer you're in the air for, the more precise you get. I don't know where this stops. Perhaps by jumping off a skyscraper you can gain superhuman accuracy moments before you meet your grisly and splatty demise. If you find out, please let me know. Here are 3 lots of 50 bullets, fired 0.27, 0.37 and 0.47 seconds after takeoff. The 0.37 second timing was the one that I used in my coolly jump shot analysis video. You'll see that by waiting a moment longer after you reach the peak of your jump, you gain a lot more accuracy but are still shooting almost as high as you would be at the peak. And this solves our problem. All those accurate strafe jumps that people have been doing are not from the strafing. It's because they're waiting a split second longer before firing, perhaps because they're too busy focusing on the counter strafe to time the shot with the peak of the jump. I extended it out either way because it was fun and these were the results. Conclusion? If performing a jump shot, shoot as late as possible. This means that I'll have to redo the coolly jump shot analysis, but in the meantime I'm pleased to have learned a bit more about the game myself and hope that I've put an end to the strafe jump shot myth. I'm a little concerned by how the strafe shot myth began and how quick some people were to dismiss my video. I don't know if it was commonly accepted as the truth or if somebody was vocal and others followed, but I urge you to test things out yourself before blindly accepting another video. Much like with case unboxings, most of the videos I found disproving my jump shot analysis show carefully hand-picked clips that don't always reflect the truth. With my videos, I repeat the same shots many times to try and show a fair result and educate you of the limitations of the way that I test. I suggest that if you want to test something yourself, you do the same. It doesn't help anybody to handpick data in order to try and prove an appealing idea. A fun side note, even using a macro to time shots absolutely perfect to the millisecond, the jump shots were not all equal. Sometimes the counter strafe would cancel the movement out, other times it wouldn't manage it fully. There's not really much I can do about that. I may be wrong, but I'm going to put it down to the tick rate, and if it is that, there's not really much I can do. If a robotic macro can't time strafe shooting perfectly every time, then I doubt that you can, making the action less reliable than a standard jump shot. You'll have to weigh up being harder to shoot against having less accuracy and decide for yourself the best plan of action for annoying biceps in the future. Have fun!